you doing? You guys doing good? I hope you're doing good. This week's kind of been more crazy than I planned on, but I'm glad it's Friday and I'm glad you guys are here. So whatever your week's been like, I hope your time spent here on the Mumsy blog can bring a little more happiness into your lives. And if you guys are new, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I do videos every Tuesday and Friday, so I'd love to see you guys here. Now on to today's topic. If you follow me on Instagram, then you got a little foresight into what I would be talking about today, and it is my last session and final session that I did for my vaginal rejuvenation. I feel like I need like angelic music just coming on and playing in the background right now, because seriously, you guys, this treatment that I decided to do with Form Med Spa here in Utah has been a game changer for me on so many levels. And as I've been sharing these videos on each treatment that I've done, let's see, this is my third video and it's also my final. So I've done 3 videos and I'll link to those below and you can watch those other ones because I've talked on different things each time. My first video, I talked about just kind of my experience with the whole initial process. My second video that I did was actually bringing you guys into the space so you could see exactly what it looks like and the tools that are used and the person who does it, and have any and every question that you guys had about it answered. Well, since my second video that I did, I've had a lot of people asking, well, how do I know if vaginal rejuvenation therapy is for me? So I wanted to talk about that today. So for myself, I initially noticed that things down south weren't looking too pretty about, let's see, a couple months ago. And I had gotten onto my Instagram and was joking about if there was Botox for your vagina. And sure enough, Form Med Spa came across that post of mine and they were like, actually there is something, it's called Vaginal Rejuvenation Therapy and it's all about laser treatment. And we want you to come in, try it out because it's awesome and it's a very non-invasive way to fix all of that down there. So I thought, well, what's there to lose? I might as well try it. And as I was in there talking with them during my sessions that I've had, I asked myself, well, how do you really know? I mean, I know for my own personal reasons why I needed vaginal rejuvenation therapy, but how can I let others know? And this is what they told me. Number 1, if you have a leaky bladder, meaning like if you're jumping on the tramp, or if you have like, you're holding in your pee and you sneeze and then some of that pee comes out, you should look into doing vaginal rejuvenation therapy. And I think a lot of people think bladder leakage has to do with having kids, and it doesn't. There's so many of us women who just suffer from bladder leakage. It just is what it is. And a lot of it has to do with age as we get older and our hormones changing and a bunch of that stuff. So that's one way you can tell you should be looking into vaginal rejuvenation therapy. The second is just the feeling. You've noticed the feeling you get during intercourse has changed. Things aren't as tight down there, which is very common. Again, a lot of that can relate to having babies. I mean, like I've said in the past, you're squeezing something the size of a watermelon out of something that's practically like the size of a lima bean. So just think about that for a minute. Have a good image in your mind. Sorry if that's TMI, but it is just a fact of life. And you know, those muscles do go back, but they don't necessarily go all the way back. And so that can happen, like I said, from having kids, and it also can happen from just age and getting closer to the phase of menopause. I don't even want to think about that right now, but it is a fact of life. And just as your hormones change with that, it can loosen all those muscles up down there. I mean, think about it. As we get older, our boobs get saggy, our butt gets saggy, we get wrinkles on our face. Our vagina is another part of our body, and that too is going to start to loosen up and sag. So that is another way to tell if you need vaginal rejuvenation therapy, because once you get all that sucked back up, let me tell you guys, sex is amazing again. And then the third reason or way to tell if you need vaginal rejuvenation therapy has to do with more of the exterior of the vagina. I'm sure if you haven't already, I highly recommend checking things out down there with a mirror. I think it just helps you become more familiar with a big part of your physical makeup. I think everyone should do it. I think everyone should be checking things out down there and just making sure things are going the way they want them to. And one thing for me is the outer area of my vagina was starting to even look a little more stretched out and not sag, well, I'm giving you guys like the best mental images. Not saggy, but it just looked a little looser than what I'd remembered it looking like the last time I checked things out down there. And so the great thing about vaginal rejuvenation therapy is, number one, they use this, remember this little friend from my first video? They use this to go into your vaginal canal, and they just rotate it around like this and tighten everything up back in there. But then for the exterior, if you want to tighten all that back up again, they have a separate tool that they use, and they also use a laser, and they just zap it in certain trouble areas or areas they can foresee starting to loosen up and get more stretched out in the future, and then they'll just tighten all that right back up. And by the time you're done, your queen bee is going to look like a whole new woman. And seriously, mine does. I don't mean to give you guys like serious traumatic mental images, but I feel like as women, it's important for us to be happy with how things are going down there, because that affects a lot of how we feel overall. I mean, we need to having control of your bladder. I mean, who likes peeing in their pants in public or even at home? And who doesn't like having a good sex life? We all want those things, and vaginal rejuvenation therapy can make that possible for such a good price. I mean, your only other option is going in and having them nip and tuck things down there, and I necessarily don't want any blades or scissors or stitches or anything in that area. And so vaginal rejuvenation therapy was key for me, and I loved it. So again, if you guys are interested in wanting to know more and you didn't see my past 2 videos, don't forget to look down below. I'll have the links, and I'll also have the link to Form Med Spa, so you can actually go to their website and read more on it. And if you're in Utah, I highly recommend going to them. If you're not in Utah, I just recommend doing your research on this and finding a place that really knows their stuff when it comes to it. Okay guys, that's all I have to share with you today on vaginal rejuvenation therapy. I'm done with it. I won't need to go back for a year. That was another thing you guys asked. So you go back every year for a touch-up, and I do have to hold on to this little guy, so he has his own little special place in my house where my kids can't get to him, and use it for other things than what it's meant to be used for. And I'll just go in once a year for a quick touch-up to keep things in tip-top shape. Love you guys so much. Seriously, hope you have a wonderful weekend. Again, if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and also don't forget to go to my website, themumsyblog.com. I will share more extra behind the scenes things with this video today over there, and with any other videos I've done. I have a ton of extra juicy tidbits there for you to check out. Okay, I'll talk to you guys soon. Love you lots. Bye.